Happy Valentine's Day, fellow internet deviants. It's me, Drew Bop, and welcome back to Swooning Over Stands. I am so excited to be playing this game again. This is probably my most popular playthrough to date, and when I finished the forward route, people had said in the comments that they wanted me to play more and to play the Stan route. So as my Valentine's Day gift to you all, I'm bringing back Swooning Over Stands, and this time, Grunkle Stan is on my radar. Oh baby, I'm gonna take a ride in the Stan-mobile. We're gonna start the game from the beginning, so if you didn't watch the forward route, fear not, you don't have to. We're gonna play from the beginning, and if you did watch the forward route and you want to skip maybe the introduction, I'm gonna put a timestamp here, and you could just skip to that part and get to the good stuff. But without further ado, gamers, let's get into it. I'm so excited. I've heard that the Stan route is a little easier, so I'm hoping I bag that Grunkle at the end of this. But let's go. Let's start from the beginning. It feels so good to be back. Good old road trips. Full of promise and ripe with potential for adventure, soul-searching, and incredible scenery. Or at least that's what you thought before the novelty wore thin. Oh, I'm getting nostalgia for this. As of now, your legs are cramping up, you've exhausted your travel playlist 2 times over, and your stomach is begging for something to eat. On top of all of that, you're pretty sure you're lost. Driving through Oregon paints a picture of trees, and more trees, especially on the endless winding roads that you're taking up north. All that breaks the pattern is a sign that zips past with words that you're just able to make out. Gravity Falls. The road continues on, giant redwoods looming on both sides. You find yourself anticipating something because as you drive on, you can feel it. Something strange is bound to happen here. Something weird. And that's when it happens. Oh man, not this again. Your car picks up speed. The change came out of nowhere, and you quickly put your foot on the brakes, but horrifyingly, the car seems to be driving on its own willpower. Trying to stay calm despite the panic welling in your chest, you pull the emergency brake, only to find that the car resists and keeps moving forward, like something is pulling it. The car begins to rattle, the wheels screech against the country road, and you're screaming until... crash. God damn it. We're back. Oh, we're so fucking back, y'all. The music. Ah! I think I'm more excited than you are all to be back. There's smoke. Why is there smoke? You cough, fumble for the door, and manage to undo the lock just before the door is wrenched outward from your grasp. Don't show me forward, I can't look at him. Something lands on your shoulder. A hand. I can't look at him, my old flame. Are you alright? We're not here. Ford, we're not here for you today, baby girl. I'm so sorry, we're not here for you. A man stands at your open car door. His hand on your shoulder leaves to tilt your head up, and he pulls a flashlight from his coat, shining it in your eyes. 2 blinks, and he lets your chin go. We're not here. I'm not here for you. I'm not. I know that our tension is palpable, but I'm not here for you. His eyes dart over the rest of you, looking for injuries. Still stunned, all you do is watch. What's your name? Bop is back. Bop is back in Gravity Falls, baby. And my pronouns are she, her. Bop, I'm Stanford Pines. Ford for short. I would shake your hand, but you look a little shaken up enough as it is. You seem fine as far as I can tell, but you shouldn't head back out there anytime soon. Where on earth were you driving in such a hurry? This is rich. This is rich considering what we're about to find out in about 3 minutes, sir. You open your mouth to explain when a voice calls from inside the house. Poindexter, this better not be one of your experiments again. I've had this place rebuilt too many times to... There he is. There he is. This is my man. This is my man today, y'all. The gold chain. Y'all, I'm so excited. The owner of the voice walks out of the house and stops slack-jawed at the sight of your car in the sight of, you're guessing, his house. You must have hit your head earlier because you could swear you're seeing double. Sweet Moses, Ford, you've done it this time. What? This had nothing to do with me. I was testing my magnet gun and... It must have pulled this victim of circumstance into the house. Deja vu. Are we getting deja vu, people? I suppose it is entirely my fault. I'm incredibly sorry. Okay, so last time I reassured Ford. This time I think I'm just gonna cry. I think this time we're just gonna have fun. You know, I'm not gonna take it too seriously. Lying. I think I'm gonna cry because in reality, if I fucking crashed my car, I would be crying. A tear streaks down your cheek, and before you know it, you're crying. Both men look intensely uncomfortable. But Ford reaches out to give you a hesitant pat on the shoulder. Hey, look, it's fine, alright? Sure, there's a dent in the hood from the shack's signage and a crack in the windshield that looks like an ominous triangle. But I'm sure she'll still run. You try to start up the car. It sputters, but ultimately nothing happens. You feel like crying again. Oh. Well, let's call a tow truck for this unfortunate soul here and forget. I'll take care of it. You're right. It is cheaper to tow it yourself. Sixer, get that magnet gun out again. No, Stanley. I'm going to fix this. How can you just not love him? All these motherfuckers who hate on him on twitter.com, come catch these fucking hands, okay? Anyway, I'm sorry, we're here for Stan. We're here for Stan. What? You fix this mess? I've figured out a few alien vehicles in my time. Nah, you kidding me? It takes some sort of miracle worker to bring this baby back to life. And this miracle worker is on vacation. Stanley, a moment. Bye. Ford and Stanley turn away and you're left to your thoughts. Who can anticipate a car accident like this in the middle of a road trip? You can take care of the car, but how are you going to get home? They run buses out here, right? So you take a bus out of here and then... Ford clears his throat, shifting a little awkwardly in place. Seems like they've finished their talk. So there are a few options. My brother Stanley here could drive you out of town to find a place to stay for the night, or you could stay the night here. We have some maps and information you can look at in the gift shop, and in the morning we can help you with your car. What do you say? Just as you're about to answer, another high-pitched voice comes from inside the house. Grunkle Stan, picture this. A whole week of, oh my gosh, Maple! Cuties. The girl that runs out of the house comes to a halt at the side of your car. Oh, great. Grunkle Ford? Why is it that everyone automatically thinks I'm at fault? Baby girl, look in the mirror. Any joke that I repeat, I'm sorry, okay? I only got so many in the Rolodex. Well, this time it is my fault, but I've invited Bob here to stay with us for the night, if she'd like. I'm sure I could fix this. I just have to figure out how. Stanley sighs. I can take a look. Yeah, being on vacation's pretty boring, and the old Stan-mobile hasn't needed a tune-up yet, so it wouldn't be too bad to work on something in the meantime. Thank you, Stanley. I'm sure I could put something together from the gadgets I have laying around if you need any specialized tools to help you with the job. Let me introduce myself. I'm Mabel. You can ask me anything. I pretty much know everything there is to know about this place. Wait, hold on. I haven't even said anything yet. Look, I appreciate your offer to let me stay, and repair your car. Yeah, it'll be good as new in my hands. I mean, look at my Stan-mobile. She's been through the ringer, who knows how many times, and she's still a beaut. I'm hoping I get to take a seat in that thing soon. He points out a red car parked a distance away. You can't really see how beautiful it is at this distance, but he sounds really confident. Well, this turn of events is fortuitous, free repairs, free lodging? There's no better deal to be found. And if things don't work out, the town probably has some sort of auto repair shop you can head to instead. Well, I accept. Thanks for the help. And my apologies again. What an embarrassment. I must have made such an elementary mistake. As the Pines leads you inside the house, Mabel leaves her number in your phone for you to call whenever, and you find out that Ford's twin goes by Stan. This part's the house, but just outside that door's the Mystery Shack. Hey, you ever been to the Mystery Shack before? I wanted to, actually. I saw a bumper sticker while I was on the road and got curious. You're interrupted by a loud, triumphant ha. Those bumper stickers were a good investment. And Sixter says they're too plain and graphically simplistic and don't even have an address on them, Stanley. How is anyone supposed to find the place to attract customers? Sixer, did you hear that? It's actually so funny he brings that up. Because after I played this the first time, I actually bought one of these because I thought it would be really funny. So, you know what, Stanley? Good idea on your part. Well, they are graphically simplistic. I don't know how she found the place, let alone thought what is the Mystery Shack was compelling. I kinda liked it. I liked it so much I bought one. See? She kinda liked it. Hey, I like you, Bob. How about I give you a tour sometime tomorrow? Regular price. And I will be taking you up on that, sir. Tomorrow? Then I'll have to squeeze all my get-to-know-you questions in today. Bob, tell me, capybara, yes or no? Obviously yes. We've been over this. Obviously yes. At that moment, a boy passes in the hallway at the far doorway, and Ford calls out to him. Dipper, my boy! I'm surprised I didn't see you run out to the scene of the crime. Crime? What crime? I have an alibi. Oh, you have someone with you. Hey! I'm not suspicious at all. Did you guys see the car inside of the shack, though? For a second, I thought the Minotaurs were back with a grudge. Yes, about that. Dipper, meet Bob. I've, stranded her car here by accident. She's staying here for the time being. Hi. Sorry, stranded her car here? You crashed it? Yeah, the Essen shack fell on it and everything, and the windows are cracked. One window, the windshield. And Bob was lucky to make it out alive. She's fine. No injuries, thankfully. The magnet gun's rather safe despite never having been tested in a formal setting. Is it, brother? It's... You put my car in a house. Yeesh. Did you not, take safety precautions or anything? Actually, the irony of the situation is that I was trying to install the safety precaution. Hey, if you two are gonna do your nerd talk, I'm gonna get Bop set up. Mabel, sweetie, why don't you show Bop around? Let her stay in, the storage room. That's still empty, right? I'll make it empty. The rest of the day consists of Mabel showing you the storage room you'll be staying in, then the kitchen, and the living room, and the hallway, and the bathroom, and pretty much a comprehensive tour of the mundanities of a regular house. Eventually, you find out the family is even more extended than you knew. The decorative doilies make a lot more sense knowing a grandmother normally lives here, and her grandson, Zeus. Or was it Zeus? Whatever the name, you look forward to meeting him when he comes for work in the morning. When you go up to the attic, Mabel opens the door to reveal Dipper, nose stuck in his book, but you catch him occasionally glancing up at you as he pretends to read. The next member of the family snorts up at you from Mabel's bed, a rotund pink pig, who Mabel declares as her best friend and partner in crime, Waddles. The two are a perfect match, right down to the chubby cheeks and boopable noses. And in the evening, though you'd still been in disbelief over the state of your car, the family dinner and after-dinner TV marathon you'd been invited to made it seem like a normal guest stay rather than a forced circumstance. I hope we're watching Ducktective. Just Ducktective marathons until my car is fixed, please. Returning to the storage room Mabel had shown you earlier, you find an air mattress waiting for you, and more pillows and sheets than a summer night warrants. Good morning! You wake to the weak glare of sunlight streaming in through the small, high window in the wall. You can't remember your room having this kind of feature, or any hotel or motel room for that matter. And then yesterday comes crashing back to you. You glance at the time to see that you slept into the afternoon. Experiencing the accident yesterday must have left you tired out. Despite having been assured yesterday evening that you were free to anything in the fridge, you still feel like you're imposing on the Pines family and try preparing as polite a guest breakfast as you can. You wash your dishes in the sink before you leave, and just as you're about to exit the kitchen, you bump into Ford. Ford, baby girl, this episode is not about you. I'm so sorry, it's not about you. Yes, from yesterday, of course. Yeah, dog, what? How have we all just forgotten overnight that I'm here? Me included. For a good, solid moment, Ford regards you in an awkward silence. Ford clears his throat. I believe Stanley's taking a look at your car outside, if you want to be there for it. You give a nod and make to leave for real this time when Ford speaks up again. And Bop, I'm sorry again for the accident. If I'd been smarter about... well, let's just say it's entirely my fault, and you shouldn't worry about this at all. When it comes down to it, Stanley does have a knack for cars. I predict you'll be back on the road in a matter of weeks. Weeks? You can't keep the dismay off your face, and you can't really bring yourself to try either. What am I going to do with weeks? Ford, who'd gotten kind of uncomfortable and closed off when your face fell, recovers at the prospect of a question he can answer. Well, there's the town to tour, of course, and the Mystery Shack. But if you ask me, all that pales in comparison to... Hold on, do you hear that? Ford turns to the kitchen doorway to investigate. Sounds like... The sound comes again, and this time you hear it as well. The squeal of a pig, followed by a pair of quick footsteps running down the stairs. Waddles tumbles past the open kitchen doorway, and Mabel comes into view soon after, a few sheets of paper clutched in hand. Ford steps quickly out of the kitchen, and you follow to the doorway, getting there just in time to see the apparent tug-of-war between Mabel and her pig over a saliva-covered sheet of paper. The paper rips, and after nearly toppling backwards from her efforts, Mabel recovers, snatching the scrap of ripped paper from Waddles' jaw and lifting both pieces up victoriously. Ha-ha! Mabel wins again. Now I just gotta find... Grumple Ford! Ford, who'd run forward and held a hand out to steady this energetic child when she'd been in danger of toppling over, now finds a number of crumpled sheets of paper shoved into his hands. Mabel tugs urgently at his coat. Grumple Ford, you have got to help me. Ford kneels down to face Mabel with a serious, though concerned look. Slow down, Mabel. What's the matter? Dipper found a stack of pages from your old journals, and I walked in, and Waddles ran up and started eating one, and he must have been chewing on it to warn me, Grunkle Ford, because look. Mabel takes the ripped halves of paper back from Ford's hand and joins them together, holding it up for Ford to see. I see. And you took this as a warning? Yes! It says here that it eats small dogs, and Waddles is a small pig, but he sort of looks like a dog from far away, and Waddles must have feared for his life. Waddles seems to second this notion with a snort. Or not, as it seems the pig is lounging adorably a short distance away in the hallway. You can't imagine what this dangerous predator could be. Some kind of wolf? Something bigger? You're suddenly not so keen on staying anymore. Remember the pterodactyl I told you about? Waddles was so scared that time. I can't let him leave my side. Pterodactyl? You suppose pigs are allowed in museums around here? How about I finish that repellent I never got around to completing? That'll keep Waddles safe from harm. Mabel flops down on the floor in relief. Grunkle Ford, you are an actual lifesaver. Waddles, you have nothing to fear. Ford chuckles, lifting himself out of the kneel and standing back up. All right, I'll go get my recipe. Ford turns to leave, and you suddenly remember that with nothing better to do for the weeks you're going to be here, it wouldn't hurt to get to know Ford. He seems to know what there is to do around town anyway, and you'll need that to not die of boredom in the first week. Or more pressingly, you could go check on your car and see what Stan's made of it so far. You're not exactly eager to face seeing your car in the side of the house again, though. Alright gamers, y'all know what time it is. Time to go check on my car. I'm so excited to see what this route brings. Ford, baby girl, you know I love you very deeply. But this playthrough I'm gonna kiss your brother. Let's go check on my car. Bye! After Ford leaves, Mabel rolls away with her pig towards the living room, and you head out of the house in search of Stan. The Mystery Shack should only have 4 main sides, but you feel like you've made your rounds past 5 of them before finally seeing your absolute wreck of a car. You swear it looks even worse than it did when you crashed it. Stan stands before it, hands on his hips, as he looks at the large wooden S that made its indent in the car's hood. How bad is it? Can't tell yet. Not till I get this letter off the hood. That S never did like to stay in place. Mystery hack, huh? Look, if you're gonna insult me... Oh, you were reading the sign. I'm fixing that later, alright? Just avert your eyes, don't look at it! Offer to help him! Okay. This is awesome, dude, I'm so excited. Offer to help. Guess we should fix it as soon as possible then. Sounds good to me. Give me a hand here, would ya? Stan directs you to help him push the wooden S off of the car. It stalls a little in its own dent, but with another firm shove, its end meets the ground. Stan gives it another push with a grunt, and it tips, falling completely to the ground with a whoomp. Now that it's free of its burden, Stan lifts up the dented hood of the car to take a look inside. He hums and huhs and rubs a hand over his chin in thought, walking over to his toolbox and grabbing the tool before walking back, still assessing the damage. Yeah, this one's gonna take a while. You've got parts that need replacing, not to mention she's not gonna look so hot after this. Not unless Ford's got the tech squirreled away somewhere that can smooth out these dents. The more he tells you of the situation, the more this all sinks in. You really are stuck here. Stan spots your worried frown. Hey, Bop, right? Look, I know how this sounds, but with me on the job, you'll be all set and back on that road in no time. You think so? Kid, I know so. I've even got a plan to get those replacement parts of yours. Might not be able to clean up all these scuff marks after I'm done, but she'll run. And hey, so maybe you gotta stay a couple days. So what? There are worse places to get stranded, believe me. In fact, I'd even say the Mystery Shack is the best place to get stranded. We've got all tons of stuff for people just passing through. Merchandise, magic, mystery, any other M words, mayhem, you get the idea. Stan tosses the tool in his hand back in the toolbox, exchanging it for another. He worked for a while longer in your silence, metallic clanks and the occasional heavy breath, all that mixes in with the sounds of the outdoors. You stand by, awkward, uncomfortable, and a little useless. Can I help with anything? Know anything about cars? No. Stan straightens, cracks his back, and sets down a tool before leaning casually against the nearest load-bearing surface. Ooh! He wipes his forehead, lets his hand fall to his waist, and gives you an assuring look. How about collages? Tall tales? Improv? Now improv, I do know, okay? You're looking at a theater kid here, baby. Yeah, I think I can handle that. But what does that have to do with this? You gesture at your stranded car, held in limbo between life and death by nothing other than Stan Pines' car expertise and a little luck. Nothing. I was just planning on having you help me help Seuss around the shack. A favor for a favor. What do you say? Well, it's more interesting than helping Ford with his pest problem? You accept. Alright, follow me. Do we actually get to meet Seuss? You follow Stan back into the mystery shack, passing by the showroom and getting a glimpse of an energetic figure leading a flock of tourists through a veritable sea of obviously fabricated oddities. You hear the words, "And this is the 9th wonder of the world," right in the mystery shack. It's what makes this place world famous, dudes. Stan notices your pace slowing as you listen and tosses an explanation back for you. That's Seuss. During operating hours, he's the Mystery Shack's one and only Mr. Mystery. I told him he didn't have to keep the shack running while he's on vacation, but the kid's got a passion for the role. You interested in this kind of stuff? You bet your sweet bippy I am. I was thinking about going on a tour. It feels weird now that you're staying at a tourist trap, though. And you were kind of going to poke fun at the exhibits. Harder to do when you have to live around your tour guide. It's fine, really. Nah, I think I want to give you a tour of the place. You'll get one from the founder himself. You ever hear one of my plugs on the radio? Can't say I have. You weren't really paying attention to the radio during the drive, just taking in the Oregon scenery. See the signs pointing to this place for over a mile down the road? Again, you were pretty preoccupied with the Oregon scenery, but you guess you did see some signs with question marks on them. That's some vague advertising. Just seeing what works. Bumper stickers, huh? Ha! Still got one on Ford. Anyways, follow me, folks. Well, folk. Get ready to be amazed. I'm so excited. Stan starts leading you back the way you came. You trail behind him, a little skeptical, but definitely curious. Didn't you say the founder would lead this tour? Is Seuss the founder? Stan laughs. What? No, I'm the founder. Built this place from the ground up. Well, metaphorically speaking. I mean, the house was here and the junk was here, but I was the one who spun this place into a wondrous house of mysterious junk. Stan gestures with his arms like he's smoothing out a rainbow. You're, not very impressed. Damn. Prepare to be amazed. You're still not very impressed, but his energy gets you hoping you'll be amazed anyway. There's a tour group in the showroom right now, so I'll be taking you on a different cycle that completely misses them. We're starting in the gift shop. Cute! Look at all this stuff. I can't remember if we were here last time or not. I think we must have been, right? Look at Stan. Look at him. So cute. You enter the gift shop. A simple room crowded top to bottom with the standard tourist souvenirs and merchandise. You see t-shirts with question marks, mugs with question marks, and pretty much everything has question marks. In one corner of the room stands a lumpy attempt of a statue, labeled the Founder, recognizable as Stan only by the nose and glasses. This room usually comes after I butter the customers up into buying things, but since you're staying a while, I'll have plenty of time to sell you stuff later. Take a look around. If you see an impulse buy, make it. Nothing like trusting your instincts. Whoa! Yo, there's so much to look at! Oh, I want to look at Employee of the Month. Employee of every month, excuse me. Seuss has always been the hardest worker in the place. It was only natural to hand it over to him. Okay, let's go backwards then. Pyramid of mugs. You can't actually take one out of that stack. I glued them together way back when. Secret business trick. And you're telling me because no one will ever believe you. Then they'll try it, and the whole stack will fall to the floor. You notice the "you break it, you buy it" sign on the wall. Okay. Freezer of iced goods. Oh, he's stern now. He's got a little cross-arm sprite. Uh-oh. Just because you're staying over does not mean you get to sneak over here for a popsicle. I get to do that, but that's because this used to be my place, and I get founder benefits. I also get founder dibs on the pineapple ice pops. He's so funny. I like that he's just watching me. He's like, what are you doing? What are you looking at? Aztec calendar. I absolutely know how to read that thing, and you should buy it. Pine tree hat. Dipper used to wear one of those. Zeus tells me they sold like hotcakes after Ford tossed his journals into the bottomless pit. Funny. Those events have no correlation. Journals? Bottomless pit? We'll have a chance to swing by the bottomless pit later. It's a prime spot on every tour because the troublemakers always accidentally trip in and I get to leave the tour without them for 20 minutes. I'm kidding! Should have seen the look on your face. Huh? T-shirt, a classic, a staple. Who doesn't love a good souvenir t-shirt? They're great for layering. And they've got the characteristic Mystery Shack question mark on them. What makes it a Mystery Shack question mark instead of just a regular question mark? You ask too many questions. Or do you? He says that last part in an exaggerated tone that betrays it as a sales pitch. This guy has no subtlety. Subtle is not a word I would use to describe Stanley Pies. There are a lot of words I would use. Subtle is not one of them. Alright, gamers, we got 2 more. Jar of eyeballs and founder statue. Thought we sold this thing years ago. Ha! Nah, I forgot to put a price on it. Just has a $sign on it. Stan takes a dark marker and squeezes in a $9.99. Then he goes back and makes it $29.99. That jar's got a lot of eyeballs. I was gonna say $9.99 is cheap for a jar of eyeballs. I would be snatched, thank you. And finally, the founder statue. Yeah, should have asked Mabel to carve it. You gotta admit that every version of me's got a charming smile, though. That I can agree on. Okay, that's everything. I guess we're done looking. You sure? Well, I think I hear the tour group heading out of the showroom anyway. Ah, little voice line, so cute. I've never been here. This is like a whole new background. I'm so excited. Now, most tourists don't appreciate nature's artistic genius. By which I mean my artistic genius, because I remembered you're gonna help me out today. You don't think up a money-making wonder like the Sasquatch by having a boring 9-to-5 office job. You think it up when you wonder, why hasn't anyone found the Sasquatch? Could it be that its name has been mispronounced this whole time? Anyway, let me know when you've soaked up enough inspiration from this room, cause you're gonna need to use it right after. Huh? Why? I thought it was gonna have me like click on stuff, but it's just me looking at him. He looks at me, and I look at him. Like, what are we doing? What is happening? It's just us. He's looking at me menacingly. These are all jokes I used last time, goddammit. Shake my brain around, get some new jokes, girl, please. Okay, I think this is enough staring. Alright, come on. You're gonna see what makes this place the Mystery Shack instead of just the Shack. We're making another attraction for the showroom. You follow Stan through the living room to the kitchen, where stuffing and animal parts are strewn across the surface to your left. Stan pulls out a thick needle and spool of thread, and as an afterthought adds a couple nails and a hammer to the pile. It seems a little unsanitary to do this right across from the fridge, and has the potential to look almost gruesome if it weren't so oddly cartoonish. He steps up to the workspace and pulls at the googly eyes that have been glued over the lifeless, glassy ones typical of taxidermy. Mabel's contributions to the craft project remain firmly intact. Huh, that's what I get for letting Mabel bring her stash of scrapbooking supplies. That's one more thing to add to the backstory. Backstory? Yeah, girl, you make a creature, and then you give it lore. What do you think? This is what we're here for, girly pop. Me yelling at me. What? You don't really think tourists are dumb enough to believe that the thing you're selling them is what you tell them is just like that, do ya? Cause if you do, You'll be set to do business in Gravity Falls. Anywhere else, though, customers take a little more work. See, every good piece comes with some kind of story. Or if you're Poindexter, this is just further proof that Ford and I are soulmates, because what is this shit? Or if you're Poindexter, some kind of lore. Horror stories work pretty well, because with enough suggestion, people can always find ways to spook themselves. Done it for years. It's kind of an art. Stan appears nonchalant, but you could see a quiet pride within him. Listen gamers, I'm here to romance this old man. I'm gonna inflate his ego as best I can. Sounds hard. That's why I'm here, to make sure you do it right. You're still doing all the work, though. You've said you've done this, quote, for years, end quote? Always had a knack for it, even when I was a kid. Sure, there was a little learning curve involved, and I've had a few unhappy customers over the years. Stan pauses seemingly to reminisce, and the mixed smile grimace on his face tells you he probably had many, many unhappy customers. But mostly I've run a great business on telling lies. Stories. You're learning from a true master, kid. Let's do a save here. Oh, look at all of my Ford things. Look at all of my romance of the past. Okay. Why don't you run this place anymore? You work like you're still part of the place. What was your original vision for the shack? Let's get to the showpiece already. What was your original vision for the shack? Vision? Make money. What other vision do you need? But over the years, sure, I've used the mystery line for advertising. Who isn't curious? Who doesn't want to be amazed? Kids are the most skeptical of the bunch, though, let me tell ya. Once they hit about 8 or 9, they love trying to prove it's all fake. Then they get older and realize there's nothing good left in the world unless you pretend there is. And everyone pretends along with you, cause they're all desperate. So why don't you run this place anymore? Stan's grin melts into something softer. Maybe a little bittersweet. My brother wanted to drag me off on a trip with him. Couldn't say no. And I couldn't just close the place, so I left it all to Seuss. He practically grew up in this place, you know? Definitely wouldn't have entrusted it to Wendy. Girl, Wendy would not want to run that place. Love Wendy. She's usually the cashier around here in the summer. It's weird having to explain this all to you. I keep thinking you already know all this. Haha, I see what you're doing here. You work like you're still part of this place. You could take the man out of the mystery shack, but you can never take the mystery out of a man. Specifically me, which is why I'm back to work even though I don't have to. 30 years of the same routine will do that to you. Stan turns his attention back to the workspace, and you notice once more the daunting selection of items that lay upon the table. It's not the number, but the variety that makes you unsure of how you're going to craft something out of this. Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do with this stuff. Surprise me. Stan walks off to the side to, you guess, do some work of his own. You're glad he's not going to watch you the whole way through. Oh god, I gotta craft something weird. Okay, so my strat is gonna be a good mix of both. A nice mix of matched and mismatched. Because you want something coherent that's just a little weird, you know what I mean? That's like my logic here. So keep things a nice mix of matched and mismatched. Now how should you keep these parts attached? Use some hand stitching and really tie this all together. Use a stapler, it's faster. Hammer, nails, obviously. We're gonna hand stitch it. Okay, you have a base to work off of. What's next? Add some sculpted details, color in some of the fur to accent the googly eyes. Just call it a day. Ooh. I want to add some sculpted details. This is so self-indulgent. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what Stan's gonna like. I'm making something weird. I'm making something for me. Add some sculpted details. Hey Stan, I'm finished. Hey, not bad, Bob. Not bad at all. Stan lifts up your anomalous amalgam aloft triumphantly. So, what's the story here? Give it to me. How do you want to approach this? More fact than fiction, more fiction than fact. Just have fun with it. Well, y'all know me. I'm just gonna have fun with it. This is a fiskorkin. A fish squirrel chicken. Stan nods appraisingly. Sounds like you've got the hang of this. Alright, this thing's about as close to show ready as it'll get. Wait here a sec. Bye. Stan carries the showpiece out of the room. After a few moments, you hear his footsteps return, and he comes into the room with 2 cans of Pit Cola. Stan sets one down on the dining table, its condensation starting a slow drip onto the table's surface. He waves you over to join him, and you slide into the seat across from him. Nothing like a cold one to finish up the day. Cheers. He picks up his can, gesturing towards you with it as he leans leisurely back in his chair, and you watch as he takes a sip. It's a nice looking sip. And now you're staring. Ah! This shit got me blushing! You pull over your own can and pop it open. So, got any questions for me? Talking tends to ease me into a new place. Might do the same for you. I'm not asking about Ford. This is not about him. As much as I love him, this is not about him. Ask about him. So, tell me about yourself. Stan laughs nervously. Ooh. What is this, a first date? Well, I'm Pines. Stan Pines. Imaginator, town darling, used to be proprietor of the Mystery Shack. He pauses, and stays paused. You give him an expectant look that wants him to continue, and he clears his throat, nervous. What, you were serious? I don't, get this often. The longest I can get people to listen to me is when I'm selling them something, and even then, it's tough luck. The last time someone listened to me, they tried to eat me. Can you believe that? I barely got much meat left on me. And? Well, keep going, you can't just end it there. Stan gives an uncertain smile, which becomes a full-on grin, and he laughs. Alright, I'll tell ya. So you see, there's this irresistible thing called revenge. Stan tells you a tale of a road trip, a mountain full of mummies, and a woman who was secretly a spider. You don't believe a word of it, but find yourself enjoying it anyway. Stan knows how to hold his audience in a decent suspense, and he seems to light up whenever you laugh at the right parts, grinning along with you. Cute! Oh, before today, you'd never even heard of Mr. Mystery before, but now you feel like you're really seeing something special here, one-on-one with the man himself. Let's ask about the exhibits. The showroom already seemed full when I saw it earlier. Why make more? Tourists love variety. Put up a sign advertising a new attraction and they'll come pouring through the doors. When I started this place, I didn't think I'd, like making these. Used to be just another thing that made money. Now I'm stuck with it. Guess 30-something years of routine will do that to a man. Stan sounds gruff, but it's a fond gruffness. Sixer says keeping familiar habits helps too, so I've kept it up. You think I could sell some of these as art pieces? Yes? No? Assume that was a rhetorical question. I'm gonna say yeah. Like I said, I'm trying to inflate this man's ego as best I can, because you know he loves it. Yeah. Yeah, I could play him up to buyers and sell him at even more ridiculous prices than I usually would. I'd buy one. I'm holding you to that. Cute! Okay, I guess I will ask about Ford. Since the option's there, I guess. About Ford. Is Ford usually like that? You mean trying to fix what ain't broken and ended up making trouble? Nah, he was the good twin growing up. You were the troublemaker, I can tell. Stan laughs. You have no idea. Oh, do I dare? We must. It's prompted. About his past. He might not like that, but I want to know. I'm nosy. You're really interested in me, huh? Or do you ask everyone these kind of questions? I'm mainly interested in you. Alright, ever heard of smuggling pugs? No? Exactly. That's because everyone in the business is good at keeping secrets. Really good. So why am I telling you now? I'm out of the business, I don't care. This absolutely isn't so that if the authorities question you, you'll give false information that leads them off my trail. Right. Stan loads you up with false information that may or may not contain kernels of truth within them. It's surprisingly hard to tell whether the crazier parts are embellishment or the real deal. Stan tips his head back to get that final sip of pit, then sets his empty can down with an air of finality. Well, Bop, you did good for your first try. If you feel like helping me around again sometime, returning the favor on the car, let me know. You nod, and Stan gets up to leave, when you remember something. Wait! I still owe you the price of admission, right? For the tour earlier? Nah, don't worry about it. This car in the back is ruining this moment, but I don't care! Oh, chat, I feel like we've got him. I'm reeling him in. It's early though. I don't want to celebrate too early, but things are looking good. I want to take a ride in the Stanmobile, baby. Okay. Compose myself. Gives me something to hold over you if I need it. Okay, well, way to ruin that, Stan. He says that and he leaves, but even from what little you've seen from him, you feel like Stan's not the type to really hold that over you. At least, not for anything serious. This tourist trap might have more to offer than you thought. Okay, that looks little, but I had that worry last time with Ford, so it's like you were made for each other. Can you give me dating tips? You're good at this. Okay, this feels like a great place to end this episode. Look at him, he looks so funny. He looks so grumpy. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this much anticipated Valentine's Day return. I'm so excited to see where this Stan romance will take us throughout the next couple of weeks, and I hope you all are excited too. If you like hanging out with me and if you like watching my videos, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. I put out new videos at least once a week. And if you're looking for more content from me, I also stream on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/its_me_drewbop. We hang out over there about 3 or 4 times a week, and we get weird, and we have a lot of fun. So if you like getting weird and having fun, you should come hang out over there as well. For those who want to keep up to date with what I've got going on, my stream schedule when videos are being posted, silly goofy clips, etc, you can also find me on most major social media platforms. Once again, my handle's gonna be at its_me_drewbop. I feel like I have planted a seed of romance in this old man's head, and so I am very excited to see where the rest of this game takes us. I'm so excited to be back. Y'all have no idea. I'll see everybody next time. Happy Valentine's Day! Bye!